All right. Everybody, we're going to start from the beginning. So this is back to day one, what we were doing, after we talked to each other for like an hour. All right. So I'm going to start out with your basic number information. 1, the decimal, right? I know this isn't basic, but we're going to start with that because it should be. The decimal. Right there. The ones place. This is 5 point, right? 5 decimal. This is the ones position. We're going to call it place. Ones place. Next, I'm going to go 6, 5 decimal, also known as 65. So I've got 65. The 6 is in the tens position. The 5 is still in the ones position. So the 6 is in the tens, the 5 is in the ones. Next up, 7, 6, 5, decimal. Remember, the decimal always at the right-hand side on the end. If it is not already in the number, always, 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 right-hand side. This number, 765. The 7, right there, that is the hundreds place. Alright? Say I want to add on some decimal numbers over here, okay? Remember, everything to the right, so everything to the right of the decimal is considered part of 1. So we have our ones position. What's that? Our ones position, just 1. We bump it up to 10. Remember, it'd be like I say, I have bags with 1 penny in it. 1 little penny, just a bunch of bags with 1. And then I bump it up to the 10. That means I have bags with 10 pennies in it. I don't break those apart. I keep them as tens. Bump it up again, hundreds. I have bags of literally 100 pennies in it. That's it. Nothing different. Okay. But when I go to the right of the decimal, that's when I start taking everything apart. That's when I get to very, very minute numbers. Okay? So I'm going to add on, we'll say 8. That changes this number to 765 and 8/10. This position, the very first position to the right of the decimal, is the tenths position. Right? We spit all over each other, but we get it right. And it is written 765, so that part did not change at all. And, okay, and 8 tenths. 765 and 8/10. Okay? Notice 8, the word 8 did not change. Tenths has that TH on the end of it, right? That TH right there. Alright. Now let's change this again. Now there will never be more than one and in the number. Never. Never ever will there be more than one and. It will never say 765. It will say 765 because that and represents the decimal. And do you want $65 or 65 cents? Right? Okay. So remember keeping that in mind. If you need to write that down, then you better write it down. Write it down. Okay. So now I'm going to go 9,765. 82 and 64 hundredths. Okay, so we added 2 new places. Our decimal still represents and. This 4, right, we just added that 4 on. This is the hundredths position. And don't be afraid to pull out the little sheets that I gave you that look something like this. Alright? This tells you each position. Notice how it's in sets of 3s after the decimal. So we've got the units here, the ones, tens, hundreds. Next we move up to the thousands. Notice it's the thousands, so 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s. Next up, the millions, this whole section, the section of 3. The 1 millions, the 10 millions, the 100 millions. That little pattern does not change. Notice there's a comma. Every 3 numbers, so the decimal, and then every 3 numbers to the left, there's a comma every time. It never starts over here. It always starts from that decimal. Now everything to the right of that decimal just kind of blends together. Now we don't use these numbers very much. Again, these are for very precise measuring and things like that. But these numbers over here, however, we will use a great deal. So these ones are the ones to just, if you don't know these backwards and forwards, I'm coming after you. Alright, but you can look at this. You can memorize this. It will not change. Okay, so I've got 9,000. Okay, 9,000. Remember before I said we have those comma words. Those words that you should recognize represent a comma if you were drawing out the number, if you were going backwards from word form to number form. So I've got 9,000. What do you know? There's a comma. 700. $82. And, just trying to make sure I keep all this on here, and 64, so here's 64 right here, and 64 hundredths. And there's that TH. Now look, there's 100 here, and there's hundredths here. There's a very big difference, so we have to memorize that. Again, everything to the right of the decimal, the thing where we spit all over everybody, but it's okay because we're saying the right word. And everything that way or to the left of the decimal doesn't have it. None of them do. Not a single one. So we don't have to worry about it. Just over there. Okay. All right. Now this is my other new position right here. Thousand. This is my thousands position. Thousands. Don't forget, you can pause these videos if you want to take this in, if you want to write it down, if I'm going too fast. You have the power to control this. Use it. Use it to your advantage. I'll make a big number now. Alright, so I'm going to go with 4,317,512 and 634,000. Okay. Alright, so again, I've got all kinds of craziness going on here. So I'm just going to go straight down. So I've got my 1s, my 10s, my hundreds, thousands, 10,000, this one right here, 100,000, and million. My 4 is in the millions position. Alright? Right here I've got my tenths. Side note, there's only one ones place, right? That hasn't stopped. Okay? So there's ones, and then a decimal, and then it starts tens, hundreds, thousands. Okay? It just keeps going. So next, I've got tenths. Now I've got hundredths. And then I've got thousands. The only difference in the spelling of these words is that. Okay? That, I'll underline all of them right there. It's very important. If I write this number out, let's see how much room do I have on here. Okay, I'm good. I've got 4 million. Okay, there's my comma word. 4,317,000. I'm going to group this together. So I've got 317. Next set, right here. 3 again, 3 together, 3 numbers together. 512. So 500. I'm going to come back down here. It's still the same number. 12. Alright, now I have my decimal. Hot dog is an and. Okay, so and. Alright, keyword again. 600. I'm going to group 3 together because I can. 600. 34,000. Notice that THS isn't there. Alright? Just the word hundred right here by itself. I just want to highlight that real quick because it's 634 and then it ends in the thousandths position. So this is important. So I'm going to read through this again. I've got 4,317,512 and 634,000. Okay, alright, that's it for this video. So this was the place value video. Next up we're going to be doing addition. So if you have place value down, you don't need to worry about it anymore. But if you do not have this down, keep watching this video. Use these charts that I gave you. Okay, if you have lost it, if you can't find it, if you scribbled on it, I don't know, spilled coffee on it, like some people in class, let me know, I'll get you another one. But use it, memorize it. It's important to your life.